I told you yesterday that what he did last night would have little to no impact on whether he would make the final 53-man roster. And I believe Tim Tebow, I don't believe it, I know Tim Tebow will be a Patriot for this entire football season, and I stand by what I said yesterday, regardless of what happened last night. Okay. He did do some poor things last night, and he did some really good things last night. And in the end, it was vintage Tim Tebow. You saw why Belichick and his new coordinator, who picked Tim Tebow as a head coach in Denver, Josh McDaniels, why they will keep him. It's the greatest package of intangibles in any single player I have ever witnessed in all my time covering the National Football League. In the end, they are down 20-14, even though it's a bunch of third stringers in the game. And what happened in the fourth quarter? Tim Tebow, boom, 59 yards to some 52 yards to somebody named Quentin Sims, an undrafted free agent. He did make a nice play on the ball. I thought it was a pretty good throw, too. It was where it should have been because it was time to get accurate. And he threw a sweet little 9-yard fade route to make it 28-20. So another comeback win for Tim Tebow because all he does is win. The coaches know all he does is win. And I'm going to bring it up again since you're bringing up statistics. 2 years ago in Denver, the 13 games that Tim Tebow started, in the final 5 minutes of those 13 games, Tim Tebow had the #1 QBR in all of pro football. #1. You can't throw and have the #1 QBR because, as our friend Eric Mangini used to tell us on the show, pretty good. All he does is win. As Eric Mangini used to tell us, it's funny, but Tim Tebow gets accurate in the fourth quarter. They know this, Stephen A., and they also know that Tim Tebow turned the Denver Broncos, the woeful, pathetic 1-4 Denver Broncos, into the best rushing, the #1 rushing attack in pro football. So, I'm back to my original point, and I stand by it. First preseason game was the only time I saw Tim Tebow get to run Tim Tebow's offense. They came out with a Tim Tebow package. Remember against the Eagles, game 1 of this preseason? And what happened? 57 yards in 8 plays. Boom, 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 with LeGarrette Blount as his new Willis McGahee. It was vintage Tebow. Fake it, run it, keep it, drop back, throw it. That's what he can do. He is not Tom Brady. It's laughable to think he could run Tom Brady's offense. But in his second preseason game, and then in his fourth preseason game, which is next action because he didn't play in the third, he was forced to run Tom Brady's offense. He's not very good at it, and he still pulled off a comeback win last night because they are keeping what he can do under wraps. I believe they just said, okay, we let him run it in the first preseason game. We're going to show nothing else. Do I think he'll contribute? In some little ways, he will contribute this year. Do I think he'll threaten Tom Brady? Please, this is the best quarterback in pro football. Do I think Ryan Mallett should be that exuberant, jumping up and down the side? No, Ryan, I thought you were once again wildly inconsistent in your first half stint, and I don't love his intangibles. I don't trust Ryan Mallett to be the backup quarterback. So I'm saying Ryan Mallett shouldn't maybe be celebrating quite so much because he might be a little bit in jeopardy here of losing his backup job.
Tim Tebow